The NBA has undergone massive evolution over the past several decades, with the center position experiencing one of the most dramatic shifts. Once a dominant force in the league, the traditional center was nearly rendered obsolete in the early 2010s. However, in recent years, the center position has been revitalized, and today, we are witnessing some of the most versatile and skilled big men in NBA history. So, how did the NBA center position revive from near extinction? The decline of the center position. Before we can understand how the center position made its grand comeback, we need to look at how it fell into disrepair. In the early 2000s, centers were a critical part of NBA teams' identities. Legends like Shaquille O'Neal, Tim Duncan, and David Robinson dominated the paint. The style of play was focused heavily on low-post scoring, rebounding, and protecting the rim. Centers like O'Neal were offensive juggernauts, capable of altering the flow of games with their sheer size and dominance. However, the mid-2000s brought a change in the style of play. The introduction of the three-point revolution, combined with several rule changes, led to the decline of the traditional center. The NBA began prioritizing faster, more versatile players. Teams started focusing on spacing, pace, and perimeter shooting. The 2004 rule change that eliminated hand-checking on the perimeter gave guards and wings a huge advantage, allowing them to drive to the basket and create offense without being hindered by defenders. Furthermore, the shift to smaller, faster lineups became a trend. The small ball era was born, and many teams started embracing positionless basketball, where versatility became more important than size. The result? The traditional center, who excelled in the post and primarily operated near the basket. Back in 2012, the NBA was dominated by two of the most powerful centers the league had seen in Dwight Howard and Andrew Bynum. These two were the last of a dying breed, playing as traditional centers. After them, the league saw a shift. Players like Marc Gasol, who was a solid contributor, but never quite lived up to the dominant expectations of a former All-Star, and Roy Hibbert, who made 2 All-Star appearances, despite averaging modest numbers of about 12 points and 8 rebounds, took center stage. Hibbert, like many others, quickly fell out of favor after leaving Indiana. Other notable centers like Al Horford, Andrew Bogut, and Joakim Noah were serviceable, but couldn't be the focal point of their team's offenses. None were the primary scoring options. From roughly 2010 to 2015, it seemed as though the center position had become irrelevant. The style of play had drastically changed, and the days of feeding the ball to a dominant big man in the post were fading. However, fast forward to today, and the center position is not only back, but it may very well be the strongest and most promising position among the NBA's young stars. In 2013, the NBA even removed the center designation from its official All-Star ballot, changing the position to simply front court, signaling that the role was no longer a priority. However, this decision marked a transition that would later set the stage for the center's return. By the end of the 2010s, a resurgence began. Players like Joel Embiid, Nikola Jokić, Karl-Anthony Towns, Rudy Gobert, Kristaps Porzingis, and Nikola Vucevic ushered in a new era of centers. These players didn't just follow the traditional post-up blueprint. They were versatile, skilled, and able to contribute in a variety of ways. New stars like Domantas Sabonis, Jaren Jackson, and DeAndre Ayton are emerging, further solidifying the center's place in today's game. So, what caused this revival? The key factor is adaptation. While past centers like Hakeem Olajuwon, Patrick Ewing, and Shaquille O'Neal were dominant with their low-post moves, they also displayed remarkable versatility in defense, passing, and handling double teams. Modern centers, like those I mentioned earlier, have taken this versatility to the next level, adding essential skills such as perimeter shooting. This evolution has become a defining feature of the current NBA. The rise of international players has also played a significant role. Many of the current center stars hail from outside the US, Europe, Africa, and beyond. These players often come with different skill sets that make them more versatile compared to their American counterparts. As basketball is taught differently across the world, Big men from overseas tend to be more refined in areas like passing and shooting. Moreover, the role of the center has shifted. You don't need to score 30 points a game to be effective. Centers have become crucial defensive anchors, especially with the rise of perimeter players. Big men now need to be nimble, able to defend the pick and roll, and contribute offensively in ways that extend beyond the paint. Players like Steven Adams, Clint Capella, Miles Turner, and Rudy Gobert exemplify this new breed of center. Even veterans like Al Horford continue to provide value with their defensive prowess despite aging. These players may not score 25 points a night, but their impact on defense is undeniable. Another noteworthy change is the blurring of the lines between power forwards and centers. More teams are adopting small ball lineups, which means traditional power forwards often take over the center spot. Players like LaMarcus Aldridge, Anthony Davis, and Draymond Green have all spent significant time playing at center, contributing to the evolving role. Draymond Green, in particular, has redefined what an undersized center can do. His ability to switch defensively, distribute the ball, and space the floor has made him a prototype for the new age big man. This shift has led to a surge in younger, smaller players aspiring to play like him. The impact of versatile, undersized bigs is undeniable, as evidenced by Green's success with the Golden State Warriors. The center position's evolution is not just a product of rule changes, but also of the game's global reach. Today's NBA is a far cry from the one in which Shaq and Charles Barkley voiced concerns about the fading role of big men. While some centers still dominate in the traditional sense, many modern bigs are finding success in new ways. The combination of increased versatility, shooting ability, and adaptability has allowed the center position to thrive again. We are now in a golden age of big men in the NBA, and it's thrilling to see how these players have reshaped the role. In the past, a center's success depended largely on post moves. Today, it's about being multifaceted. Whether it's shooting threes, passing from the high post, or defending in space. The center position is no longer one-dimensional, and that makes it more valuable than ever. As the NBA continues to evolve, one thing is clear. The center position is here to stay, and it's stronger than ever. The big men of today are the key to unlocking success for their teams, proving that versatility, skill, and adaptability are more important than ever. The NBA center has risen from the dead, and it's exciting to see what the future holds for these dominant players. If you found this video informative, please give it a thumbs up, share it with friends, and don't forget to subscribe for more content like this.